a seat and relax as we take you on a journey through another movie torture. Let's check in with Brad as he's worried if MTD will find his report card. Ashley's out on the town looking for some good Chinese, but starts to wonder, is this place up to code? And Jacob decides it's time to do some interior decorating, time to get rid of those lamps. Now let's jump into the eye. Hello, everybody.
I was like intentionally looking away from you.
I was intentionally looking at you the whole time.
I saw Brad. I was like trying to make eye contact with
This
Brad.
is the one time me and her actually had eye contact. We're like, you know what? She's like, look at me. I'm like, nah, I don't want to. I'm good.
Oh
Look
my
at Jacob.
God. I was like looking at photos of muffins on my phone so that I wouldn't like look at you because I wanted to give you that grace and respect.
That's pretty funny. It was
And
pretty
that was
good,
fun.
Jacob. I liked our new
That was
intro
really
from
good,
you.
Jacob.
Yeah, I really
something different.
appreciated that. That's pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Brad is like reading his. Are you like writing in your diary or something? When
Yes,
you do
I'm writing. Jacob's intro was very unique.
Yeah, like what?
No,
are
I
you
was pulling
doing?
us up on the YouTube so I could see if we
on
have
the
anybody. watching.
YouTube. On the
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, I was
YouTubes.
I was told at work today by a coworker they like how I add the to everything. The YouTubes, we're going to the Walmarts, the Facebooks,
Ohio
The Walmarts.
we're going to the Walmarts, we're going to the Targets. Yeah, we got a lot of fun things.
You
going
also,
on.
I guess, make everything plural. Targets, Walmarts.
I do.
The Target.
Blockbusters.
The
Oh wait, that
Blockbusters.
already is the Blockbusters. That already is.
No, it's Blockbuster.
Is
The
it?
Blockbuster. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've been calling it Blockbusters.
That's where I rented all your movies at, Ashley. I went to Blockbuster
Yeah,
and rented them.
they don't even rate them very high too.
You know, I
The
did
one
notice.
Blockbuster left.
Well, Jacob and I have discussed we should do an Ashley movie month where we have a couple of your
We
movies
should.
on,
Um,
and you come on and talk about them. I mean, we definitely got to do your Nick Cage one. It's on
Oh, that was
Tubi
the
right
best.
now. No, Amazon Prime. It's Amazon Prime.
yeah, I remember when it was on Netflix and I was dating a guy. Or no, we weren't dating, but I met him on like Tinder and we were about to go on a date and he goes, I watched your movie. And I was like, this date is canceled. I'm like,
You're like,
Wait, you-
date over.
Wait, you canceled the date because he watched your movie?
it was just weird. He was like, I watched it late last night in preparation for the date. And I was like, I had one line, right? Like what did you prepare?
He judged you on everything off that one line.
I was
But I
like,
gotta
are we still getting sushi? Because then I'll show up. So
I gotta say though, if I was going on a date with somebody that's been in a movie like you, I would have probably prepped with a pre-movie watch.
Yes.
yeah, but only if it's like Zac Efron. Like if I had one line to Nicolas Cage and Wendell Pierce. Granted, I thought I did incredibly well asking them what they wanted to eat in the movie.
Wait, what was your line again? You told us. What was it?
It was, can I get you to anything else?
Okay, I'm gonna
I
try
got to
your
walk
line.
into the scene and then walk right out.
I'm gonna try your line for the movie. Tell me if I would have got the part.
Okay.
Can I get you to anything else?
Well, okay, so now you're Southern, which is
Yeah,
fine.
you're-
Here's the thing. My audition was not that. My audition was like I sent in a tape of me as one of the very like hardened military. I don't remember what it was for, but it was a very rough scene, and they were like, "We see you as waitress." That was just my name, waitress.
Waitress.
And then watching the
Waitress.
movie at the premiere, I was like, well, yeah, I definitely wasn't going to get this role of like the hardened military, like fabulous person, but you know,
Well,
for your service.
what listeners don't know is Ashley sent her audition tape in the movie Torture, and we're like, we see you as a good guest, and she passed through about 5 interviews, and she
Mhm.
finally got on. So that's good.
Yeah.
She's here
And
now.
it usually takes about 6 interviews to get onto movie Torture, so
6. Oh,
don't want to toot my own horn.
MTD's in the house. He wants to say hey.
Is he in this
MTV.
chat? Where is he?
He should be
Oh,
somewhere.
I see him.
He
Where is
in
he
the
at?
chat.
Woo!
Live stream chat. Hello, MTD. He's here.
Woo woo.
We're
All
saying
right.
hi to MTD. He's there. He never misses unless he's
Wait,
shopping.
I did not write hi.
Well, you got
did that?
I wrote hi.
And I
But
wrote
it says
hi.
from Ashley.
It shouldn't. I didn't say that. That's weird.
It says Ashley hi. No, look. See,
Maybe
now
he's
I'm-
telling you hi.
no, it says I wrote it twice.
Keeps freezing. He says, "Uh-oh, that's not good." Might be might be the internet's.
I am scared.
The interwebs.
I said hi. So yeah.
No, that's me. That's coming up as Ashley saying hi.
No,
hi.
it's coming up as me.
No, it's not.
Mine's coming as Hopecast Network.
No, yours is
that?
Jacob. That's coming up as Ashley.
Well, I just said it. Looks like it's Brad on my end. Don't be trying to take my credit. I'm kissing the ring, man.
Look, I just
Blah blah blah.
Is that coming
under
from
Brad.
you? It says.
It's
Yeah,
coming
under
from
you.
Brad.
Brad.
Why are we sharing?
I don't know. Do we have a joint account now? Are we joining? Is this it?
I have no idea, but now since we're talking about like a horror movie, now I feel like I'm just living in a horror movie.
Oh my gosh! When you say horror movie, you mean very, very thinly veiled horror.
Not
movie,
well, maybe not just in genre, but our real life as we were watching it.
yeah. Hi MTD. We are watching. What are we watching, Jacob? Tell us what we're watching.
So we are watching The Eye, which is a remake, and this particular one came out in 2008 with very unheard of anymore Jessica Alba.
What do you mean anymore?
She's so irrelevant right now.
No, she became a businesswoman. Hello,
Yeah,
Honest Company.
But what I'm saying is no one even knows who she is anymore. I asked
Nah, they
15
still
people
don't
at work
know.
today. Now, most of these people are like 17 to 18.
That's different. They
and they
might
were
not
like,
know.
who?
No. Yes, that I get. Like a 17, 18-year-old, yeah, because they're interested in, I don't even know who's like the cool.
I haven't
actress
even
these
thought
days.
of Jessica Alba one bit until I was like, oh, she's in this movie. I
Did you
forgot
think
she even
about her
existed.
more in 2008 or
Well, she was more relevant then. She was in more movies.
right?
What? Wait, wasn't she just in a Netflix movie? I'm pretty sure she just
She
started
was.
a
I think-
Netflix movie
I think
that
you're
I had
right, yeah.
no desire to watch.
She's like a bartender, some weird story. Yeah. But I
What
don't know.
is her? Okay, what is her claim to fame?
Dark
she
Angel
was in.
or
The
Honey?
Honest Company?
No, but
Dark-
like what she like, but what put her on the map?
Honey, I've never seen Honey. That's
I
got to
saw
be a
Honey
movie
when
torture.
it came out, and I loved it.
Was she not in some kind of like rom-com?
She was
She
in
was-
that rom com Sin City.
No, not Sin City. No. There was another.
that very tame movie. No,
looking it up here.
she was in like Good Luck Chuck, I think.
Yes,
but that was
Good Luck
later.
Chuck.
That was like
No,
2000.
that wasn't her, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that
she
was
wasn't.
later. That wasn't like during
that
her
was-
Mecca. She was like huge from 2003 to like.
So here's some movies
2008.
that she was in.
Wait, Good Luck Chuck was
Fantastic Four.
2007, by the way. It was before
Oh.
this crapper.
So she's
well-
in Fantastic Four.
I remember that.
That's movie.
They're saying
I
there
would
she
rather
was
hear
in.
Jacob rip one than watch another Jessica Alba movie.
Coming right up.
I like Jessica Alba. I have nothing against her. I think she's wonderful. so you
Personally,
guys
she
are-
might be a nice lady, but
I don't know her
Terrible
personally, but I
actress.
actually, I don't think she's bad, and I think she's beautiful. I think she's I think you're wrong.
She was in Never Been Kissed. That don't make sense. I don't
She
remember seeing
was.
her
She
there.
was. I'm Disco Barbie. That was her line.
Okay.
Ugh. Jay, here's where her career started to go south.
Never been.
I
Kissed
feel
is a
like-
great movie.
I feel like she thinks that I feel like she's on top of the world. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. That's probably her peak, right? Because she's
Yes.
in a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Then she decides to work with Dane Cook, and that's probably not a smart move.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's not that funny. And then he goes to Good Luck Chuck. Then she does Awake, which I saw at the movie theater.
Oh my God, with Hayden Christensen. I love
Yeah, that's
that
where
movie
she's
when it came
awake
out.
during the surgery.
That's
No,
right.
he is. He is.
Oh,
She's
he
not.
is. Okay, well that movie sucked. But here's
So you
where
didn't
she
even
hit-
pay attention to if she didn't
No,
have
it's been-
surgery.
That's been a long time. Then she does The Eye. So she's like, I'm gonna follow Awake with The Eye. But then she follows that up with Jacob's all-time favorite movie, The Love Guru.
No,
Oh,
that movie
Okay,
is garbage.
No,
I
I'm
feel like
sorry. No.
that's
My
where it
husband
ended
likes
for
that
her.
movie.
It is
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah, I
She
feel like
was-
that's when she was like on her way out of like
Down.
mainstream, popularity. I still think she's mainstream for like look, she's Jessica Alba. She's never not going to be like Jessica Alba. But she might not be well known with like the teens. That's because she moved on to like, The Honest Company. She was on the cover of Forbes.
She hasn't had a movie in the theater in probably since Mechanic Resurrection 2016.
I don't even know what that movie is.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I've never watched it. Never watched it. She was in.
Is that when like a mechanic is resurrected?
Yeah,
like
it's where
Jesus?
Jason Statham, I think. It's a Statham.
Oh, well, he's in one of my all-time favorite ridiculous movies,
What?
The Meg.
Oh, well. I mean, all you gotta do is go back to the Meg 2. We reviewed that on.
That's the
this-
worst movie. No, I hate
It's-
the sequel.
Go
was
back,
horrible.
listeners. Go back and listen to the Meg 2 review. It was hot garbage.
It was.
There's not enough Megan in it. There's not enough
Yeah.
sharking. We need to see some
Nope.
sharking, and
Yeah,
there's no sharking.
it was horrible, and there was no like actual storyline. I
No, it
hate
was
when
so
movies are a
dumb.
movie just to be a movie.
She was in Little Fockers.
You mean?
The worst,
Yeah.
I
the
think
Fokker,
she-
worst Fokker movie.
She was the one he was working with. Didn't she try to like seduce Ben Stiller? I haven't seen it since it was.
How did he not fall for that?
He was he was
If he's
married and he
single-
loves his
oh,
wife. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah. Well, who was he married to in that movie? Who was his hanging with?
Beautiful blonde woman.
It
Oh,
was, I
Terry
can't remember.
Polo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
has-been.
Yes.
She was in Machete, which
Yep.
Yes.
she got on that Robert Rodriguez train, and he started making crappy movies, and she joined him. He said, "Let's go make some crappy movies," and she's like, "I'll make Machete. I'll make Spy Kids." Another
I
bad
didn't
one.
see the new Spy Kids, but I will say the original one is fabulous. And like,
Really?
but like, like scientifically doesn't make sense. Like the mom is 26 and was a spy for 10 years, but also left being a spy to raise her kids who are like 9 and 8. So like the mathematics of it all like don't work. But
And
it's still a
she-
fabulous film.
She was in one of Brad's all-time favorite movies,
Wow.
What?
Into the Blue, with Paul Walker.
I do like me some Paul Walker. Paul Walker, quite possibly one of the worst actors in Hollywood.
Whoa.
Hands
When
down.
he died, it was really sad, but I never
It
thought it was
was.
okay. Early
No,
Paul
I liked
Walker
him in
acting.
Pleasantville. Pleasantville.
hold
That was a
on.
great
Early-
movie.
Early Paul Walker acting was terrible. He was like, "Hey, she's my girl, Freddie Prinze. She's all that, bro." Like he was terrible when
Oh,
she's
I
all that.
remember that movie.
Yeah, Varsity
No,
Blues.
I don't know. I don't.
Ah.
I think I don't agree. I have to rewatch it, but I don't know.
I'm glad you don't agree. You don't have to
I
agree with
don't
everything
agree.
we say here.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
don't
not a
agree.
Paul Walker fan. The fact that we've not had a Paul Walker movie, I don't think we've had a Paul Walker movie.
We should
on
do
this podcast.
Pleasantville because I think that's a really
Well, that's a
good
good
film.
movie.
That is a
We
good movie.
don't
This
do
is
good
called movie
movies, though.
torture.
This is
Yeah,
called
but
torture.
but I don't know. It's torture for
Why would we
somebody.
do good?
For
Wait.
you? It's torturing you.
No, I like Pleasantville. That's a great,
Oh,
great
okay.
movie. Reese Witherspoon in my top 5 back in the day. She was beautiful. She's not as much
She's-
anymore.
She's
But-
still. Brad is on one today. What do you mean she's not beautiful?
She is, but she's not my top 5 anymore.
Okay, well, things change. Okay, fine.
She
but,
slipped
she's-
out.
Oh, God.
But I get made fun of. This girl's in my top 5. I get made fun of all the time for
Who,
this
who,
girl
who?
in my top 5. You're gonna make fun of me.
No, I won't.
Yeah, the girl that's in. Oh my gosh,
You don't even know her name.
That's sad. I'm old, man. It's hard for me to- She's in. Oh gosh, what's that movie? Brittany runs a marathon.
A marathon? I've seen the movie, but I
Jillian
don't-
Bell. Jillian Bell.
Is she the lead in it?
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, yeah, she's a
Yeah, hold on,
comedian
hold
too,
on,
right? She's
hold on,
funny.
hold on. She's right here. Her.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I got made fun of her. I'm like, hey, look, she may not be
Why?
a 10, right? You're supposed to pick 10s when you do your top 5s, right?
No, you're supposed to pick what you're attracted to. It has
That's right.
nothing
Well,
to do with
but-
it has nothing to do with anything else.
But I venture to say she would be fun because she jokes a lot. So she would have a great personality, which would make her fun.
That's true.
That's why I put her in my top 5. I'm like, hey, but they said that's not
Okay.
how the game works. The game works.
Who are you
Physically.
playing with?
You must follow the rules.
Yeah.
Is
It's
there an
like-
official
like-
top 5 rule? My wife had Jamie Foxx, and I think she's moved him out. So go figure.
They,
But I
Yeah.
can see that. Jamie Foxx is a hunk.
but we don't
Sorry.
get to talk about those fun people. We get to talk about the eye.
MTD's like, bring it back to the eye. How much did this movie make in the theater? It couldn't be much. A couple pesos?
I
The
feel like they were
budget was
trying to-
$12 million.
Okay. Really?
Oh, God, that's realistic. I
Gross
guess.
in US and Canada was $31,418,000.
You're
Wow.
kidding me, right?
I'm
This
dead
movie
serious.
made $31 million.
$31 million.
I paid. I went and saw it at the theater.
I
But
think I realized watching it now that I had never seen it, but I will say it felt like they were trying to make like they were filming it like they were filming another Ring movie. Like I feel like they wanted to bank on that type of like horror, and I put that in quotes because like I found it more like it seemed like they were trying to make it a little bit more intellectual. It was just missing the mark.
Yeah, it really, you're not wrong. It felt like they were taking like 5 different storylines cramming into this one.
Yeah,
Because-
like at one point I thought it was The Sixth Sense, and then I
Yes.
was like,
And then Daredevil got introduced, like
Yeah.
with her super blind powers. And then, I mean, even her, as we'll get more into this, but even when she got her eyes, like
Mhm.
the powers that she had with her eyes now were completely different every single time. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
consistent. Like, I,
and why was she? Yeah, the burning stuff. Like it didn't. So there was a fire, and then there was going to be another fire that she needed to be warned
it
about.
should have been a
Like
fire.
but it didn't make sense. And then she becomes blind again, like that. Like it.
Yeah.
It didn't. I didn't fully understand why there was such a. She kept having these visions because we weren't told whether it was a flashback, flash forward, whatever the heck.
Right.
Okay. First, MTD let us know it made 58 million worldwide, which
It's showing
holy
that
crap.
I typed it. By the way, it's showing Ashley.
MTD,
Wow,
it shows-
It's showing Ashley.
It's showing Ashley typed wow 58 million.
Yeah,
That's funny that me and you were just sharing it. But this movie has a trope that we see a lot on movie torture. It doesn't make sense. Like, that's a trope we notice in a lot of movies. They don't make sense on here.
It does.
We could call this the "Don't Make Sense" podcast because nothing makes sense in these movies.
Like,
ever.
how are you going to? In the beginning, you're basically it's the sister's fault why she's blind, which they
Right,
don't
yeah.
touch on until you're about halfway through the movie when she's like firecrackers, which then leads me down a whole tunnel of questions like, how did you go blind by firecrackers? You have no scarring on your face, you have nothing.
But
Do you
also,
want me-
didn't they?
Should
What?
I do a recap really fast? Before we get
You
into
should.
it?
You should.
Yeah,
Let me do
because
this
I have
recap.
something on that. I wanna
Okay.
say.
Okay, so here's the quick synopsis. Every guy's dream girl in 2004 stars in this movie, and she's blind and plays an instrument. Is it the violin that
Yes.
she plays?
Violin, yeah.
Yeah.
She can't see, but yet she can. She knows when guys are trying to cross the road. She knows it. She's like a CNI dog. And she decides to get a new eye. She gets said eye, but half the movie she can't see because it's blurry. Sees dead people and sees the dead come get the dead people, and then realizes that she's got eyes from a dead girl who I guess died in a fire. I don't know, and I really don't care. And then at the end, it ends with her playing an instrument. This movie wanted to be The Grudge so bad, man.
Right. It wanted to be The Grudge. It wanted to be The Ring. It really wanted to be like more of a taken seriously type of. I actually don't remember The Grudge, but it wanted to be more like taken seriously. What I will say about the eyes, the firecracker thing. So didn't she acknowledge that she tried getting a retina transplant before, but she rejected them? So where are these other blind eyes coming from that she has currently? If they tried to do like an implantation before and she rejected them, what are the blind eyes she has now?
No, I think what she was trying to say was that her like body rejected them, that they didn't work, so they just put in her old eyes again, I guess.
Yeah, but for me, like when I
But
put
you're
things
valid,
together,
you're
I
valid,
trash
like-
stuff. Are they going to the garbage can and going, "Let's get her eyes out. We got to put them back in. They're not taking them."
Basically.
Where
We got
are
the
they keeping
bamboo up
these
back in
eyes?
his eyes. We need
And
new
also
In a
those,
cooler?
like, the figures that were taking these recently deceased people away, that was like kind of like an homage to Ghost, I felt like. And
a little bit.
it,
Except
it
for no, go ahead, sorry.
no, I felt like there was so much happening, but it's 16 different movies in one.
They those things were not even scary, which was their point to be scary. It was hilarious because they were like guard dogs for the
Yeah.
dead people leaving, because they would just growl at you if you paid attention to them, and they would just turn around and growl at you and then go on its way.
Yeah.
They were like my kid. They were like my kid in the morning when I tried to get him up. Like, okay.
Right.
You're like my personal birth control, Brad, because every time you talk about like your kids, I'm like, maybe I should rethink.
Kids
But
are great when they're
Yeah.
other
When
people's
they're
kids
other
are great.
people's. Yeah.
To your point, Ashley, like you said, they were just trying to do so much in different things in the movie. Because one moment, her ability is she sees dead people, sees the ghost
Right.
people. Then she sees the ghost people before people die, so she could save them. But then she has visions with these eyes, and then these visions cause real things to happen to her on the outside. So it's like,
Yeah, and right, and they didn't really at first. She was seeing all of these dead people. Then, like, it was only the recently deceased,
yeah,
and she was seeing them being let off. So, like, you didn't really I couldn't like get what the point was.
they would have been better off just making it like a Daredevil, where she could just have special powers and.
It was almost like we were talking yesterday that Jennifer Garner should have just been in this movie, right? Like she would
No.
have probably been. You don't think so?
No,
She came back as Electra just shows up in this movie.
gosh.
no.
I can train you how to
Daredevil
use
would've
your
been-
powers.
Jessica
No,
Jones
thanks.
shows up.
I like Jessica Alba. I like Jessica Alba in this movie.
I'm here to
think.
train you.
Yeah, I'm here to train. MTD's there. He's like, I've trained Jason. I can train you. Let's put these eyes in. Let's go. It's like, she's like, I'm going to need to see your resume. And he's like, I've trained Jason Voorhees. I don't know a Voorhees. Oh, Crystal Lake. You know him. It's like, Jacob and I legit were having a conversation yesterday, Ashley. And I was legit thinking this was in the Scary Movie October month, but we're in November. I was like,
Yeah.
It is
this is a
November.
horror movie. And he's like, no, man, this is remake time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because I said this is
Yeah.
easily the worst horror movie we've reviewed in this month. And he's like, but it's not a horror month.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see a movie where MTD comes and trains her also to walk. Like, she is a great, like, she would be a great guard dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take her around, you walk with her, she's
Are
going
you
to
talking
sit.
about Jessica Alba?
Yes.
Who are you
like,
talking about?
I'm talking about Jessica Alba would be
Oh.
a great guard dog because she like knows when a bus is coming and she can't see. She sees better than
She
me.
almost got run over. What are you talking
No,
about?
she didn't. She stopped the
No,
the-
no.
Skateboarder.
She was
skateboarder.
walking into the street and the car stops. Goes, "What are you doing?"
I'd be
Oh,
You
like,
yeah.
don't remember
"Bruh,
this
she ain't
very
I do.
vivid point in the movie?
But was that when she had her eyes that were not?
She had her
there-
eyes.
Yeah, see, she was still fuzzy then. She lost her
Here-
powers. Her new
here's
eyes
a-
were in.
Here's the thing that's stupid about this movie. This is stupid. Like, if I was blind, and I'm her age. Let's say I'm blind and 30. I don't want new eyes because
No.
you know how much pity I'm getting from the chicks if I'm blind and I'm single. Oh my
But she
gosh!
doesn't need pity.
But I'm
Okay.
thinking about for me. If
For
I'm
you
blind and I'm
personally.
single,
Wait, another
I'm
thing
staying
about the
blind.
movie. When she didn't recognize herself in the mirror,
Yeah.
my
that made
gosh.
no sense.
No.
They didn't tell us who she was actually seeing and who her family was seeing. Like I don't get it.
Right.
it was dumb. But
Well,
back
that's the
to
thing.
my
Her family is seeing her. but she's seeing this whole new person in the mirror, but they see her.
Right, but she would know who she is because she had
You would think so.
seen herself
But,
already,
okay,
right?
back to my blind theory before we get onto this. There was a movie back in the late 90s. I went to the theater and saw it called At First Sight with Val Kilmer. And he gets these magic eyes put in him, and he can now see Mira Sorvino back when she was popular. Okay, again, I'm thinking if I'm blind, chicks would be always guiding me everywhere. You could do so many things you're not allowed to do as a seeing person, as a blind person.
You
you
should
could-
probably keep this stuff to yourself, Brad.
No, I don't mean inappropriate stuff. I mean, you can wear clothes that don't match. You don't have
That's
to
true.
fix your hair. Nothing matters, Ashley.
But are these things like plaguing you in your everyday life? Like you
No,
want
but-
to wear things that don't match?
Brad,
Brad, do it.
do what?
Yeah, do what?
Just stop caring. Just
Like you don't have to carry. I don't care what I'm wearing. You don't. You can look disheveled, and the chicks are gonna be like single Brad. Before I got married to the best woman ever, they'd be like, "Hey man, he's blind. I get the handicap placard. Oh, and I
You're
don't
not
get to drive.
driving.
Yeah, true. I'm not driving, but if Jacob drives me around, he gets to take the advantage of the handicap. Brad wants a cane and a dog.
And a dog.
Yes, MTD. Give me a cane and a dog, and I'm walking around.
But
Okay, you got to choose deaf or blind. Go. Which one?
deaf.
Oh no, man.
Then I don't
Yeah,
have to listen to
it's a lot.
people.
No,
a lot of work,
probably.
man.
I think. I mean, I wouldn't.
Not
want
today.
either,
You have a
but
tablet. I can just type
probably-
in and it'll speak.
I don't know. It's hard because you want to know what you look like, but also maybe this is horrible, but maybe deaf just because you can communicate. You can learn sign language, and the people around you can. But I don't know. But I
For
don't
me,
know.
yes.
I'd want to know. I feel like what things look like, whatever. Like I don't know. I'd want to be able to see.
Well,
I would like to start a dating show produced by Hopecast and Movie Torture cast members,
I'll host
where we
it.
put deaf and blind people together
Never
and
mind.
and see if they would date. It's like the Helen Keller event.
So horrible.
We're canceled at this point.
but here's the thing: like even her character in this movie, she is not suffering. She is doing pretty well for herself
Yeah.
as a blind.
Well,
Like,
Yeah,
No
but-
one's
but
trying
I-
to take advantage of her either, which is
no,
lovely.
and she's making some money.
Yeah.
MTD says blind would be much worse. I think deaf because I don't want to learn sign language at my age.
You don't have
I'm not
to.
going to learn it. I don't want to learn to read lips
You don't have
because
to.
this is what Ashley would do when I was around. She'd go.
Yeah, I would do that. I would
I'd
do
be
that
like-
just to piss you off.
That's
But
what a
I
tablet's for.
agree with MTD. I agree. I think if you have all of your faculties and then all of a sudden something happened and you have to lose either your eyesight or your hearing.
Here's the thing: blind. Like, say I owe you like $50, I can just hand you a $1 bill and be like, "Hey, I paid you back. Thanks." And you would be the wiser.
I think you're going to get so much sympathy. I get tired of driving.
Yeah,
I
but you
never
won't
have to
be
drive
able
again.
like see your kids.
I feel his face. I see what you look like. There's so
I'm
many
growing.
things. Like I could listen to a movie. I would listen to every podcast on the Hopecast Network. I would listen to Lots of Laughs for sure.
You don't already?
I listen now, just like MTD. Use a pencil and paper.
See?
I do feel like there would be some creeps like trying to take advantage of
sure.
Jessica Alba in this movie. Like, why are we not seeing that?
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
feel like also the doctor, I kept waiting, I feel like in these like sort of like lower end horror movies that it's always like the semi love interest that turns out to be bad or in on it randomly, and I kept waiting for the doctor to
Nothing.
turn and be like,
No.
I conjured the blah 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 for your eyes, it's all on me, all this stuff, and he just like there was no like resolution. Did they start dating? Like it was also their relationship was weird. Like I've never what insurance does this doctor take, because he was like on call.
Yeah, like, but he was on call with Jessica Alba. But I mean, if it was me or Jacob, it'd be like, "Hey, dude, call my secretary." Like,
Yeah,
I'm not answering.
You don't get the
But-
cell phone.
Ashley, let's me and you write this movie
Okay.
because I
we
think
keep
Jacob
saying
would
we have
go.
like 16 movies in the works.
We do have
You
movies
guys
we got to
get to
write.
work.
Okay, well, let's write this movie where it's a comedy. This is Netflix bound,
Okay.
and maybe Tubi.
Pluto TV,
With
who knows?
Pluto or Roku. Okay, there's a girl who is a certifiable 10 and she is blind. And she meets a guy that she really likes who is like a 4. And this is like Shallow Hal reverse. So she falls in love with this guy. She thinks he's hot. He tells her he's a 10. She trusts him. She's like, man, this guy, like dad bods are in. And then halfway through the movie, she gets her vision back. She gets hit on the head. Boom, she sees again. And then she has to try to figure out how to ditch this man. But he is a clinger. He doesn't want to leave. And so she has to start doing things with him, like going out, being seen in public, because she doesn't want to be that girl. We could call it That Girl.
We actually, I mean, it's not a bad idea. We should start writing that. But I feel like a lot of your movie plots have something to do with like one person not being attracted to the other.
or with that, or you
Isn't
take
that
it
what
where,
you want to watch in a romance movie though? Like, and then she eventually falls
I feel like
for
I'm
him?
like a Hallmark girly. Like I love Christmas movies, so I like to see two semi-decent looking people just fall in love and bake cookies together. Like that's what I want out of a movie.
But I want to see a hot girl fall in love with an average dude.
Yeah, but otherwise,
That's
what you do
every
is you
movie.
do that. You do that, but instead of her like trying to get rid of him or ditch him, she doesn't believe it's him, and he spends half the movie trying to convince her, no, it is really me. This is who you fell in love with. And she's like, no, it's you. He was handsome, and he's like, no, it's me. But
It's
eventually,
me, really.
she comes to learn to love him for who he is. A
we
liar.
cut to he has a twin brother too, which makes it even worse because she thinks it's the twin that's in my MTD said she
10
watched
I
that.
watched that.
The twin brothers, the 10.
Yeah, and he's the 10, but she likes the twin. But then you cut to photos of him and her together, and she's got her blind dark glasses on with the stick in the photos, which makes it even funnier.
I'm so at a loss for this plot line.
MTD's
friends
like, sign me up. I'm subscribing to Tubi tomorrow.
Her friends have been
It's
trying
great.
through the whole movie to convince her that no, this guy's not a 10. You're with the wrong brother.
She doesn't know like what scale it's on.
She
That's
doesn't
right.
know
She
the
doesn't
scale.
understand the scale. Yeah.
They're like, that's not how the game works. It's like I
Yeah.
told you. My buddy's like, it's not how the game works, okay? He's not a 10.
You got it all wrong.
What are you, an idiot?
I mean, I for sure I'd give it a watch. I'd give it a watch.
But would you give it a pencil and a paper and write it?
Maybe. We have like a zillion and one movies that we're
We
writing.
do. MTD says I'd watch that. MTD.
And I believe MTD.
Yeah, I mean you have to. He's the godfather of this network, of the show. Anyway, back to this crapper of a movie.
Here's the other thing. Yes, real quick with that too, because again, with her
Mhm.
powers and never being the same in every scene that they changed, literally
Yeah.
every scene was a different. So now you have the little kid who is dead in the apartment, worried about if his dad's going to find the report card. How come he's not being taken away by the people? Why does he stay?
On top of that, what the woman, the mother, who then asks
Yes.
asks Jessica Alba's character, like, is my son here? You see him, right? Like how did Ashley, you could stop.
You didn't know you're going to be the star. Actually, that's MTD's giving you. Wait. Are we reversing that? Is she going to be the one that looks down on the 4, or is she the 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're what? Yeah. So then the mother's like, "He's here, isn't he?" And she
Right.
freaks
It
out.
didn't make any sense. But I wanted them, honestly, I would have rather they expanded on that storyline than the going to Mexico and there happens to be one fire and then another fire like a couple hours later.
Well, like
that
you
are
go
not-
through this whole movie, all of this, just for the end to be like, her main goal was to save 40 people in a future event that's going to happen at the border.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like why did she first of all, how did she predict that? And two, like, just don't show up. You know what I mean? Like Jessica Alba, it kind of like Jessica Alba was supposed to prevent it, but didn't Jessica Alba kind of cause it?
To some degree. I mean, she saved the people. She lost her eyes again, but she saved the people.
I mean,
Alright.
Oh my gosh.
Brad got casted as the 4.
Thanks a lot. MTD says, Brad is the boy.
I'm the 10. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, she is the 10. Let's talk about the best actress in this movie, Chloe Grace Moretz. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Chloe?
Well, Chloe Grace Moretz and Parker Posey's also in this, and she's great.
Second time Parker Posey's been in a movie, Torture, and she's wasted in this movie. It used to be one of my favorite actresses. I don't know why she's in this movie. She must.
Yeah, I don't get the casting. Yeah, the casting didn't make sense. They don't look like sisters. But also, I didn't think Jessica Alba was like bad in this film.
Oh, Ashley,
come on.
Her acting is
horrendous.
Did we just say it at the same time?
Yes. Here's how you know that she was horrendous in the movie. Because this scene had nothing to do with the movie. And they're like, well, we got to save this because Alba stinks in this film. So we're going to appease all the 2004 teen men out there, and we're going to make sure she's in a shower scene.
Oh,
where you see her butt crack. That
yeah,
and like that will save the film.
I was gonna mention
it
that.
Didn't because I can't even remember that scene.
They made such an effort for her to not dry off after a shower and put on a very light tank top and underwear that had a bow on it, but it was so close up that it didn't make any sense. Like whenever the first thing you do when you get out of the shower is towel dry. I mean, I use a bathrobe. It dries me. So I don't understand people that put clothing on when they're still wet.
Yeah, I don't like that. But again, they were just trying to appease the boys who like her. But back to Chloe, right? She's a great act. She's good. Yeah, she's a good actress.
Yeah, she's good.
But she's wasted in this movie. My thing is, she should have been dead the whole time. That would have made it a little creepier. Like she's the kid.
I thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah,
like it's going to be like a Sixth Sense thing.
And what kind of hospital are they? MTD, you've been to the hospital. I've been to hospitals. What kind of hospital just shuts down at night and is that quiet? Because anybody's been in a hospital knows you get woke up about every 2 hours in a hospital. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did I just thank you, MTV?
No, I did. I said thank you.
It looks like it continues.
The future me said thank you. He said it's freezing up.
She's in full on recovery and they throw her with this like old woman on her deathbed.
Yeah, that was so weird. Why was she sharing a room with someone after such an intense procedure too? Like
only in Hollywood are you sharing a room. I mean, you would have thought she was in like Mexico doing this because it was like, I mean, she should have been at like Cedar Sinai or what's that place in Beverly Hills, like getting it on, like getting her eyes put in.
And I think that's Cedar Sinai.
Yeah, she should have been there. That's where all the celebrities die, right? That's where they go to die.
I thought she would be at like Lenox Hill in New York. Didn't this take place in New York?
Oh, is this New York? Oh, Lenox Hill.
No, I don't. So, okay, you bring up a great point. I don't know where this took place because you remember when they go to Mexico, he's like, it's a 15-hour drive.
15-hour drive, right?
Maybe
so
it's Texas.
No way it's New York.
Lenox Hill, though. Did you ever watch that on Netflix, Ashley?
But all the shots they take of the city is like New York.
Lenox Hill.
Did I ever watch it? I've been there.
No, did you ever watch the reality show on Netflix, Lenox Hill?
There was a reality show?
Well, it just followed doctors at Lenox Hill.
That seems so against the law, like, or HIPAA or something. Like, I just feel like
I had one of the doctors on Work Advice. He came on, one of my very first guests.
And what did he say? Was it like insane?
It was a quick like 10-minute chat, but it was.
But I don't even know how legally you could do that. Like, what
they
if
just
someone's
followed
in there,
him? You got to sign a release. Like if I come in there, I ain't signing a release. They're gonna be like,
I
saw Brad on Lenox Hill, man. Oh God, I didn't know he was struggling with that.
Yeah, I would never.
He's got a bad ticker.
Brad gets TV famous because of his foot fungus.
Oh my gosh! You see that? You see that? What's this? You see that cyst in the back of his back? It was disgusting.
God.
That lymphoma or not lymphoma, lipoma. You see that lipoma?
And then every time Brad goes on a date, they search him, and that's what comes up is the scene of that. He's just losing every date process.
Yeah, they're like, I saw you on Lenox Hill. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wait, I'm looking it up. When was Lenox Hill like a thing?
It was a few years ago. Dr. Langer, David Langer. He was one of my first guests on Work Advice for me. Yeah, Lenox Hill. He's a great guy. He's really nice. Came on the pod, didn't share it, didn't care. But hey, he came on 10 minutes.
Wait.
I'm not hating, or I'm hating. But back to this movie and why she looks that up, Jacob.
So weird.
I want to be in that hospital because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I want to be in a hospital where you get to sleep at night like it's a hotel. And there's no nurses running around. They're not
they take your pulse every
some little girls
3
just
hours.
randomly running around into people's random rooms.
Yeah, like how is that possible? They come in. We haven't checked Brad's pulse in 20 hours. He's still alive. He's still kicking.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, I don't know. Stupid hospital. A hospital I'd like to go, but still stupid. It's almost like it's like on the. It's like I want to see like Zac Efron or not Zac Efron.
Me too.
Yeah, I know you do. What's the guy from Scrubs? I want to see him show up.
Zach Braff?
Yeah, we got the Scrubs crew showing up. Now, that would make this movie funnier if they showed up.
It would have.
Well, yeah, but it's not a comedy.
It should have been.
It would have been a better movie. Where would we have been in this cast? Where would Movie Torture have been in this cast?
Oh.
I guess Ashley's definitely the Alba role. You're
really?
the one
I was thinking I was Parker Posey. Am I
Gary,
Alba? I'll be Alba. I'll be
you're
her.
Alba.
I mean, I do not have her face, skin, lips.
Well, you don't have to look like her. You're just Alba. Hannah, First Lady, is going to be her sister, Parker Posey, who tried to kill her with firecrackers.
Yes. Yep.
Where's producer Gary at in this movie? He's got.
Is he the orchestra director?
Oh my gosh. I think he's just a dead guy that walks around in a Hawaiian shirt, and she's like, I keep seeing a Hawaiian shirt guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be him.
Well,
MTD has to be your dad, and he has to blame your sister for the eyes all the time. Like, she comes over, and he's like, "You took my baby's eyes."
Wait, there was a dad in this movie?
No, but I'm creating it.
We're
making this movie better.
I didn't. They cut that out of my TV.
She was gonna be the best basketball player, and now she's blind. And then he holds it against Hannah, your sister.
So who's the therapist?
Gary's her brother. Gary's her brother.
There you go.
Gary's like the goofball brother who like takes her around and he drives her places to get groceries. He holds her hand across the street, and everybody thinks it's her boyfriend. And she's like, "It's my brother." Did you see Brad's colonoscopy on TV?
I heard it was pretty crappy.
We saw your colonoscopy, Brad. That's crazy. MTD's like,
you're looking good down there.
I heard it was full of crap.
Thank you. And then MTD's like her dad, and like he loves Gary. Producer Gary is her brother, and he's like, he doesn't let anybody make fun of Gary because he's like, he's a simple man. It's like, we're not going to make fun of
Who's the therapist that drives 15 hours to Mexico?
That decides to throw his whole entire career away in like 2 seconds.
That's got to be Raj.
And doesn't even get a kiss. Yeah. They don't even.
Nothing. No.
Also, who was that actor? I feel like he was just in this and nothing else ever.
Yeah, I think he signed up for the Eye, and then they said, "See your way out of Hollywood," because he saw it.
I didn't recognize him at all.
No,
and it's interesting watching older movies like from the early to late 2000s.
Oh, he was in a lot of movies.
Like seeing people that you recognize now as a star that weren't back then. But who is he? What else?
He was in Face Off. He was in Jurassic Park 3, American Hustle.
Oh, that's a newer-ish one. That's still like 10 years ago.
But a lot of unknown name movies.
I'm trying to find what her salary was.
How did he get this role?
Yeah, I mean,
Did
maybe
he?
he knew her.
Maybe.
It doesn't say what she made in this movie. Her net worth, by the way, $197 million, which is
Yeah, that makes sense. No. I mean, she has the Honest Company.
I don't even know. What is the Honest Company? What is that?
It
I
makes
mean,
honest
it's
products.
for kids, children, and I think like moms as well. Like creams and stuff for like, I don't know, like breastfeeding and all the good stuff.
I feel like she lost a lot of money though. This article says her company went from 1.5 billion to 150 million.
Yeah, well, there was some. I don't know what it was, but I remember hearing something about sunscreen that was like actually very damaging to children.
Yeah,
but
I do remember hearing something about that. Yeah.
I don't know the details of it, so I don't want to like give. I don't want to give the wrong information. But that was like 10 years ago. When was this article? And are
This
they
article
referencing
came
it?
out in 2023.
Oh, so it's more.
Well, you don't
recent.
hear much about her company anymore.
Well,
really.
she sold it, I think, right?
She did? Okay,
she?
well that makes sense.
I think she's still on the board. Again, I don't know the details on that either, but I do. Recently, I think she sold it.
Can you be her biographer and just tell us all about her one day?
Yeah.
We just need a whole episode of Jessica
I
Alba
will.
biography.
And
I'll fall
the thing is,
asleep. That'd be my Ambien.
I don't know that much about her. This is literally just like hearsay. It's stuff like I've heard, and now I'm like, oh right.
You should get into the reading of the Audible books, so I could download a book read by you. That'd be pretty funny.
Okay, let me
MTD's
just
like,
make
I'm
a
buying
call.
that book.
Yeah, who do I call?
I don't know. You just got to get into the Audible business and go. I'll act. I'll act.
1-800 Audible. Let me see.
Yeah,
if I can get it.
1-800 Audible.
You
Have
know
you
what
seen
else?
me in Nick Cage's movie?
Yeah.
I should be able to read this.
Yeah, you should cast me.
Yeah,
You know what else would have made this movie funny? The part that I was really
Turning
hoping
it
for.
off?
That, oh yes, but that didn't happen. So I think this is where after she
Thank
just got her
God.
eyes, so she's still very blurry, and she goes out and she's like walking on those stones in the fountain. I was like, please fall in, like just miss
Oh
that.
yeah,
fall in.
yeah. I didn't.
That would have been
yeah.
fantastic. She did not. I was disappointed.
There's so many things I just have lots of questions about, but this movie just is one of those that we'll never answer them.
Okay,
And
here one more. So like the timing of how these shadow people work, because most of the time the shadow people are there and the people are gone like instantly. Like she sees the shadow guy by the mom and she's like, get an ambulance, boom, she has a heart attack and she's done. But then when it was the big dramatic end scene, it was like they had 30 minutes with the shadow people just standing around as they're running everybody out of the bus and getting everybody off the freeway. It was like the longest time ever.
I love how someone was like, "Is this a terrorist attack?" She goes, "Yes."
She's like, yes.
There's a bomb on the bus. Yes. Like there was no thinking like, "Oh, that's a good idea. That's what I should say."
But so she's screaming, "There's a bomb!" But no border patrol people are coming over. They're all just like, "Why are all these people running?"
That's another thing that I really don't like I feel like they do in movies, not so much anymore, but they used to, is that when there's just this like big like emotional eruption, like she goes in and starts breaking all the lights and everything and tearing everything down. I was just like,
why?
I hate when they do that, where they like make the character lose so much control. Like I get it, she is like losing her mind, but I just
what I think was they were trying to portray, right? She wanted to be blind again. She didn't want she didn't want to see anymore because she had her head wrapped up, her eyes all wrapped up.
I mean, I would start gouging my eyes out if I was seeing what she was seeing.
I mean, fair.
Also, the doctor kept waking her up every morning, and I'm sorry, but the first thing in movies and TV when I think about is like when someone first wakes up, how come they don't acknowledge that like she has to brush her teeth? Like,
well, yeah, that is the first thing.
But that's the first thing that I think of anytime someone wakes up in a movie or TV show. And like he keeps waking her up and getting super close to her and checking things out. And I'm like, she should not be breathing on you. Like she should go brush her teeth first. It's crazy.
But she's in the hospital.
Brush your teeth. I don't care.
You get a pass.
When I was in the hospital, I brushed my teeth in the morning.
Well, I mean, you need to. I mean, that's the move, right? They do that in movies, though. They're always like,
that's the move, right?
According to Brad, when you're blind, you don't care anymore, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's right. You can let yourself go. But does that include stench? I don't think so.
It has to, right?
No, your other faculties become higher if you can smell yourself.
Can you smell yourself if you're blind?
I do think so. I do think you can.
But you get used to your own smell. You don't
Brad's
think
on
you
his phone
smell.
right now. What are you looking at, Brad? 'Cause
I'm
you're
looking
making
up.
the
I'm
camera.
looking up the eye. I'm trying to figure something out here. This is bothering me.
Is it like a timeline thing? Can we help you with it?
No. Okay. I think I found it. Okay. I'm good. Yeah, you got to definitely go. You got to brush your teeth first. Move. It's like in these movies where rom-coms when they first wake up and then they're like making out. I'm like,
yeah.
don't they want to like get fresh a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like a little freshness, maybe.
No, yeah, I hate in movies and TV shows, especially where they wake up and they're like so close to each other, and they're talking and then like getting all like sexy, and I'm like, no.
That ain't happening. It's
Maybe
not.
at the beginning of a relation, but I don't know.
Not in the not when you've been married almost 15 years. It ain't happening.
Has it been 15 years for you?
It will be next in July. I'm coming up on my 15.
Mazel. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm at 16.
Jacob's at 16. Yeah, we got
I'm
31
at
years here.
2.5.
33 and a
Very
half
nice.
years combined. I like that. Yeah.
I met
ET's
my
been
wife.
married forever.
My wife, we dated for 2 months. I'd known her for 2 months and got married.
Love
We
that.
should make a rom-com about Jacob's life.
We should.
You know, he was
Yeah.
a goth. He was a goth
I
lord.
was goth.
I want to see a picture.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
trying to
gonna
find
make
one.
it.
I'm
He's gotta
actively
find one.
looking. I'm
So
actively
we can put
looking.
it on movie torture site. It's got to go.
But yes,
Yeah.
I used to have long black hair, eyebrow piercing, tongue piercings. I have demon tattoos. I was very heavily into like Marilyn Manson,
Her face.
death metal, all that good
He was
stuff.
in Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
I have to see it. I was really into like My Chemical Romance in high school, but like it's different.
Yeah.
Well, you may do some reviews as we round out this.
Okay.
Let's hear these wonderful reviews.
Okay, I'm on Amazon. We love our Amazon 5 stars, man.
Is this from October 2024?
Jane Foltz. Jane Foltz writes on July 7th, 2023, which is still pretty close.
It is.
Great movie. Enjoyed it very much. I don't understand that.
The credits?
This one says provocative. R. Smith writes in 2008. This is right off the movie.
Oh, okay.
Provocative and blithe thrillers. Despite the plot loopholes in logic, this viewer is required to overlook the overall enjoyment of the film is not compromised. Okay, here we go. This is a good one from 2019, by the way. Thomas writes, Alba is a babe and a cool story. Cool, spooky movie. I thought it deserved more praise than it got. Jessica Alba just makes the movie better with her natural, gorgeous beauty. And she did some of her best work in this. Worth a look if you like these kind of movies.
I think
I like
worry
that
about-
going back to the year that the movie came out, or like a year after, because that's when you're going to get the most like real. I feel like.
You think?
Yeah, I feel like the ones now are going to be like.
Okay, here's one from 2008.
Okay.
Great flick. Michael Peel wrote. This must be Jordan Peele's brother. You will not be disappointed in this movie. Yes, I was. This is much better than most. No, it isn't. Like that had been released lately. PQ and AQ are great. I think he's talking about a Blu-ray. I love this digital copy.
Wait, I'm so confused. Is he responding to himself? Like,
Yeah, I think he is. It's so confusing.
I bring him on the show 'cause, like, he has like
There's-
6 personalities.
Oh, this is the best one. 2008, Jason writes, maybe the best Japanese remake yet. Jessica Alba plays Sydney Wells, who went blind at the age of 7, result of a firecracker accident. I'll only mention this as an interjection because that's how it felt. But Parker Posey is a horrible actress who's completely forgettable. And they actually have some sort of deprivation similar to the star character in this movie. Despite Posey's black hole of suck acting, Jessica, this must be her ex, Jessica Alba manages to carry every scene with her incredible beauty and acting ability. Despite the disability, She has moved on well. Oh gosh, this guy wrote I can't read all this. In the perpetual stream of Japanese horror flicks made into mediocre Hollywood productions, this is nothing more than a typical translation. And just like the commonalities in language, this movie comes across about as scary as many of the English signs I've seen. It may work in this guy gave it 5 stars, but yet he's saying it's the best remake and he's bashing it. I don't understand this guy. 2008. That's the logic you get, Ashley. 2008, moron.
He needs an iPhone 16 pronto.
He does. This is
iPhone's
terrible.
garbage.
Ashley, movie torture, movie gold, The Eye.
I'm going to go with movie torture.
I was gonna. Okay, why? Just because it sucked, right?
Just because I felt like it was trying so hard to be something epic, and clearly it was for the time, but like as time goes on, it just didn't really live up to it. But
The Ring is way better. And
oh, well, of course, but I feel like they were trying to be The Ring. That's what I think. I think they were trying to be the next Ring, and it didn't work for them.
But if this movie made $58 million and cost 12, I'm shocked they didn't make a sequel, The Eye 2.
That's true.
I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Somebody else didn't
actually,
get mad eyes.
You're
Yeah,
right. I
should.
wonder if there's like some research to that, if we can figure out why they didn't.
We need to figure that out. Jacob, movie torture, movie gold.
All right, at the end of the line, at the end of the movie, Alba says something about being a curse and talking about a curse. So I would agree with her that we all share in a curse that we had to watch this movie, and it was 100% movie torture, and probably one of the worst movies I've watched since doing this podcast.
Oh my god!
gosh.
Wow.
It was garbage.
No, jeez.
I've said in over 70 movies on this podcast, Ashley. I've watched a lot of stank.
Yeah.
And this movie definitely ranks top 10 worst I've ever watched on the show.
Really? Oh my god.
It is bad. Like her acting is dookie.
It is.
I would rather just look at a toilet.
It's a colonoscopy
Than watch
itself.
her. Yeah, my colonoscopy
yours
way more interesting.
specifically.
Way more. MTD would sign up to watch my colonoscopy on TV, obviously, because he said, "Did you see
Colonoscopies are
it?"
interesting.
Yeah,
This
but
was
this
not.
movie's horrible, and I disagree with all those reviews. Even the guy that doesn't like Parker Posey, great actress. I don't know why she's in this movie. I disagree
don't
with
know why
him.
she's
She's
in
the best actress in this movie. Her and Chloe Grace Moretz.
The shadow people acted better than Jessica Alba did. In this
Oh my
movie.
gosh.
The pure.
Yeah, I want to
CGI
hang with the shadow people. Yeah, the shadow. We should have the shadow people come on the pod and we can
Yeah,
talk
have
to
them come on.
They're just gonna growl at you.
They
What
might
if
be
that was
too
the way
method
you-
for us.
What if that was the way we let you go from the movie torture cast people? We bring them on, and then we'd have the shadow
Yeah,
people
we're just
take you
like-
away.
They just start growling at everybody.
Her mic is just sitting there,
Yeah.
and movie torture's going, "I trained them to do that." I trained
My
Voorhees.
cheeks are starting to hurt from laughing. I'm doing like exercises.
We need to get movie torture dad a shirt that says "I trained Voorhees." That's what
That
we
would be
need.
amazing. That'd be epic.
Oh my gosh. He wears it to the beach. It's like, I trained Voorhees. He's like, "You want to be the next mass killer? I'll make it happen."
On the back of the shirt's the golden gloves of Crystal Lake.
Oh my gosh, yes. He has that, and he's got a Michael Myers mask on there. He said, "If only."
Ghost
only-
face, everything's there.
Michael Myers signed with a different trainer. He didn't get Jason. He didn't get MTD, and he's mad about it. Anyway, hey, for MTD for the second lady of movie torture, you can listen to Ashley on Lots of Laughs
Woo.
on the Hubcast Network every other Friday. She's got great guests. If you ain't listening, you are missing out.
It's a great show.
Yes,
and-
you are.
It's a great
And
show.
her episodes will be on the YouTube channels. So
Woohoo.
you can tune in and see her on YouTube even before the episode drops. If you want to get ahead of the game, you can see her on YouTube. Jacob, I'm glad you're here, Minnesota Jacob. Thank you
Enjoy being here.
for your amazing intro. My name is Brad. We will see you next week as we continue Remake Month in November. See you later.